Hey y'all, so once again it's Jacolia of Jacolia Gems. Thank you for coming back to another segment of Hava Speaks. Before you get started with the video, if you could give me just a slight favor, stop the video, subscribe, like the video, and share it on your social media platforms. So this will not be a very long video at all. I'm going to be going over 10 ways to tell if your friend is in secret competition with you. And a lot of these things aren't even secret. They're very open and we just brush them off. But in wisdom, as choke my children, we're going to begin to address some things on today. So the first sign, and I'm going to say she, because I'm a woman, but this is not gender specific. She gives you private support and has to be asked to support publicly. Now no one is obligated to share a business, to share a post, or do anything of that nature. But when you have a friend who says that they believe in you and they champion you, they invest in you, and you publicly support them, publicly support their ventures and privately, but you have to ask, hey, can you share my flyer? Hey, can you do this? Can you do that? And it's something that they say that they believe in, not something that you're assuming based off of just because you my friend, you're supposed to do this. Because sometimes we have friends who don't carry themselves the way that you carry yourself, and it's bad for business. But this is someone who say that they believe in you and they champion you. Keep that in mind. The second one, she throws up her accomplishments when you share good news. Now, I'm very well aware and how the mind works. A lot of times when someone mentions something, depending on your communication style, it's natural to mention something similar. I do it at times. Other times I sit back and I listen. It's actually something I'm trying to break out of doing even more because I recognize everybody don't communicate like that. But more times than not, if you're talking about something, especially something of importance, I'm going to sit back and I'm going to listen. It has nothing to do with me. With this example, and he's like, say, hey, I got some good news and this, that, and the other. It's like that top me mentality, or I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And it's not saying that your friends shouldn't be able to share with you and share their accomplishments. But y'all know exactly what vibes I am talking about. Y'all know exactly what patterns. If it's becoming every time you share something, stop sharing. Just stop sharing. Listen to the reactions. Do they ever ask you about your businesses? Do they ever ask you if you're happy, if you're good, if you're healthy? If every time you mention something good, they have to share, that may be a sign. The third one, weaponizing secrets, downfalls, regrets. This is one of the worst things that somebody could do. And a lot of times they'll be like, I'm just joking. And nothing is absolutely funny. And even if it's funny in a comical standpoint, why would you weaponize something that someone has told you as a joke? Or if and when you guys bump head, they'll weaponize it and use it to lash out. These are not safe people. Safe people don't do that. Safe people don't sit back and laugh at your pain, at you being vulnerable and you confide in them. Number 4, they start doing the things that you have been doing. I'm not saying like you go off and you venture into something and then your homie like, man, can you teach me how to do that? I would be really interested, especially because a lot of times just because you have mutual audiences with somebody does not mean that you have all of the same audience. But if you have a mutual audience, and even if you don't, your friend is inspiring you to do something and to tap into something, and you just pop up doing it, that's snake stuff. You don't do stuff like that. You have conversations with people. You give people credit for what it is that they do, that they've now inspired you to do. Number 5, expects to come up off of you without any reciprocation. If you notice, whenever you enter into a room or whenever you have an opportunity, you're bringing this person in, you're telling them about the latest thing, you're introducing them to people, or even if there's no introduction, you are bringing them up to a vibe. But whenever they get invited somewhere important, whenever they have something that's of similar quality, and you never get a call, you never get an invite, you have to begin to ask yourself why. Especially if you're the type of friend that they know knows how to conduct themselves, knows how to move, know how to ebb and flow, knows how to operate regardless of what room they're in, and especially if you've brought them around as well. It's time for us to open our eyes and deal with stuff that's reciprocal only. Okay, number 6. When you are mentioned by other people who they don't know are going to come back and tell you anything. People who really love you. I'm not talking about people who being messy. People who really, really fool with you and are like, wait a minute, I thought this was your girl. I thought this was your homie. When I mention my other people and they get mad. When you mention my other people and excuse me, y'all. When you get mentioned by other people and they get mad and cut the person off, like the person is bigging you up. The person may say something affectionate connected to your name. The person may say something like, oh yeah, they out here doing their thing. And their energy change. Their speech change. They really stop messing with that person like they would because they thought that they held bigger weight with that person than you do. That's a sign that your friend is in secret competition with you. Number 7. They start to cipher from you. This is very, very similar to number 4, what they start doing things that you've been doing. A lot of times, sometimes friends have a lot of common interests and a lot of common hobbies. So you guys may already share mutual interests. But when you start to see them doing ventures and doing things to a T, and if y'all like that story time video that I shared with y'all today, I got some more story time videos for y'all, especially about friends that decipher from you, who will take ideas, business, things like that, and they will label them and call it their own, and you'll sit back and be like, wow, that's ciphering. People that decipher things from you are people who are draining and demonic on your energy, and they are only around because they are talented people, but they may not be as creative as you. So they can take an idea and revamp it, but they don't know how to build and create from the ground up. And if they do, they're too lazy to do so, and they see that your formula is already working. So why try? Number 8, when they make underhanded comments. Say you in a conversation with somebody who you assume that you really, really, really friends with, not associates, like real life friends, and then they hit you with my real life best friend. Or, I'm talking to this person and I was telling them, we should do X, Y, and Z. But that's the idea that you came up with. Or they're like, you look cute sometimes. Just like little, or oh girl, did you gain weight? Just like these little handed comments. You really, really, really have to pay out for people like this. Pay attention for people like this because they're telling you how they feel in a roundabout, passive aggressive, cowardly type of way. And a lot of time they try to play in your face thinking that you're stupid and you can't hit them. But it's really that some of them are so stupid they don't realize that you're telling on themselves and that you hear everything that they're saying. And you can see the spirit from which they operate in. Number 9, they keep you away until it benefits them. Now, I don't believe in all friend circles mixing and mingling. I don't believe in you gotta do a whole bunch of double dating and your nigga is my friend, my nigga is your friend, my circle crowd is your circle crowd, but this is how we kick it. This is how we kick it. But then when a light bulb goes off and this person can benefit me in some way, they can make me some money, they can make me look good, they can do X, Y, and Z. Tell them you're not EBT, baby. You ain't somebody monthly benefits to get them fed and keep them fed. That ain't what you here for. They ain't paying no taxes on that. Tell them to pay them taxes and run them ducats if they want to benefit off of you. Because time is money. And last but not least, 10. turning everything back to them. Have you ever had a moment when you're hurt and when you're going through something, and somebody will literally sit there and tell you the same story about what they're going through, and their pain is old? And that doesn't mean that their pain is irrelevant, but you're hurting and you're sitting there and you are soaking now. Or you're sharing something that no matter what happens, it has to end up being about them. No follow-up questions, no looping back. And so when it happens to me, a lot of times I just sit there and I get real quiet. And I listen. Because you're telling me that my well-being does not matter. My mental health does not matter. And as long as it's about you, that's all that matters. So with that being said, these are some short ways that you can tell that your friend is possibly in secret competition with you. Thank y'all for coming back. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And shop with me at Hava's Essence, which will be linked down below. Talk to y'all soon.